Annette, thank you very much. Let's pick up here. Eskom will continue to implement load shedding until further notice. This after Unit 1 tripped at Koeberg nuclear power station. The power utility is struggling with maintenance backlogs at its power plants. For an update on this story now, we speak to Eskom spokesperson Sikonathi Mantshantsha this morning. He joins us via Skype. Mr. Mantshantsha, good morning to you. What is the status of the Koeberg power plant as we speak?
Morning, buddy. The power plant the pump that was actually faulty has now been fixed and synchronized back into the system. Last night we spoke to the regulator in order to get permission to resume operations with the generation unit. So we are today ramping it up in order to connect it to the system by the weekend. By the end of Sunday, the Unit 1 of Koeberg Power Station will be generating again, and that will help ease the stage of load shedding.
Why is it taking longer to synchronize it back to the power grid?
Remember, Claude, there are certain regulatory issues when it comes to a nuclear station that have to be addressed, and the regulator needs to satisfy themselves that we meet all the requirements to work back again on the nuclear site.
Mr. Mantshantsha, what is the status of the plan, the 18 months plan? When is that going to be implemented?
We have already implemented the plan. The contracts are being placed and equipment is being ordered, and people indeed will soon be on site to start the refurbishments. So we are on course to meet those.
How then does this affect the daily power supply? Because it would seem that lately the power grid has become extremely unreliable.
Yes, it has been very constrained, particularly the past few days since we had the trip of those 7 units in the weekend. But we are getting back. Since last night, we've gotten back about three generation units. Today, we are getting a few more back. So by tomorrow, we've communicated and said stage 4 load shedding will carry on until Friday. Then we will scale down to the lower stages of load shedding, if not completely do away with it by weekend.
Mr. Mantshantsha, I want to ask you the question: are you able to give us a fair assessment of how your power plants are at this stage? Because these unplanned breakdowns, they're the bane of our existence. I mean, it's tough for anyone to live under these conditions.
You are absolutely correct. We have been telling the people of South Africa quite frankly that the machines, these power stations, are quite unreliable. The performance there, we are struggling with it, and hence we were talking about that 18 months of intensive maintenance. That's where we are. Unfortunately, you just only have to imagine having that 40-year, 50-year-old power station that we have to rely on with no new equipment coming on, and with the mess that has become Medupi and Kusile. We unfortunately have to go through this and take this pain. Long-term gain will be had after we have fixed all of these in the 2 years that we are talking about. Yeah,
and then of course you had the internet system failing you yesterday. What was the problem there?
Yeah, we did have load shedding in the Sunning Hill area as well, so that did affect our internal systems. But the technicians are working on that. Today we should be back up again.
So are you saying that technicians are working on it? It's not back online, which means that the load shedding schedules are not. We're not able to retrieve them at this stage.
Yes, by the time I went to sleep last night, it had not been back online. But my colleagues assure me that they are working on the system 24 hours, and we should be back on by today, hopefully by midday, Tony.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. That's Sikonathi Mantshantsha, the spokesperson from Eskom.